Hello everybody, welcome to another Poverty Hill Adventures video. This video is part of this fall's hunting camp series of videos. As you can see, it is a beautiful summer day. The problem with that is it's not summer, it's hunting season, and it's quite warm for hunting season right now. As you can see, I'm out here in my bare feet. I never even put on any shoes. It is a lovely, just a spectacular summer day. The temperatures are in the 70s. There's a nice breeze. Just a beautiful, beautiful day. However, not the best temperatures, and the wind here is not helping us either for bow hunting of deer. so today I'm going to hang out and camp this afternoon here and work on some chores around the camp. Now, doing chores does not sound like a whole lot of fun, right? But it turns out that doing chores at hunting camp here can be fun, and I enjoy doing them. In some of the previous hunting camp videos, especially the first video where I took everybody on a tour of my camp this year, I mentioned that it's always been a dream of mine to hunt out of a traditional tent camp and for an extended period of time, for longer than just a couple of days. And sometimes dreams that you have don't turn out to be what you expected them. Sometimes in your mind you have a vision of things, and the reality of it is it's not what you expected. Well, let me tell you what, my dream of having a traditional hunting camp to hunt out of for an extended period of time has turned out to be better than my dreams. I mean, I'm enjoying every minute I spend here. Maybe what I should do for those of you who might have a similar dream, you're dreaming, you're waiting for retirement like I did, and you want to set up a hunting camp or maybe a cabin to hunt out of and spend some long-term time doing that. Maybe you haven't got to that point where you can do it yet. So perhaps before I show you some of the chores I'm going to do today, perhaps I should just maybe take a little stroll around camp and show you some of the things that are working for me here, and give you some of my thoughts on things, some of the things that aren't working out, that aren't turning out like I had envisioned them. Maybe it helps some of you guys who've never done something like this. These are only my feelings, my opinion on things. So let's take a couple minutes and we'll walk around camp and I'll show you some of the stuff and how it's been working out for me. As far as my tent goes, now I've used this tent for several years, and I like it a lot. But for a long-term extended stay, this tent has actually exceeded my expectations. It's been a great place to stay. I like it a lot. The more I use it, the more I like it. The folding single cot has turned out to be quite comfortable. I'm real happy with it. What I think has made it real comfortable is I got one of these self-inflating sleeping pads on it, and that's helped out quite a bit. I haven't had any uncomfortable nights sleeping. Sleeping in the tent, I've heard owls, I've heard coyotes, and a couple of rainy nights that it was just real nice and relaxing staying in the tent. The little ammo can stove that I made so far has worked pretty good. A couple of problems I've had with it is, and I knew this before I used it, it's so small that you can't keep a fire going all night in it. And I do not have a damper in the pipe. I couldn't find one for that small a pipe. So I have to control how the fire burns by either opening or closing the door. I do have a couple of air holes in the bottom there, but I can get about a couple hours out of a fire in it, and for the most part, it takes the chill off the tent, and I have usually I have some wood, more wood than that, which is one of the chores I got to do today. Stacked up, and I like to stack it within arm's reach of the bed, and then throughout the night I just roll over and throw a couple pieces in. I added this little, I guess you'd call it a floor mat next to the bed, and I like it. You get up in the morning or the middle of the night or whatever, and being that there is no tent floor in this tent, at least you're not stepping on the cold dirt. You're stepping down onto a dry mat. Normally over here by that little table with the lamp on it, I have my rocking chair, which the rocking chair, the camp would not be the same without that rocking chair. But I have it outside because it's such a nice day today. But normally it's set up here next to the little table there, and I like that lamp. The lamp was made by some local Amish. It's a oil lamp, non-pressurized, and it gives off just enough light in the evening. It's nice. Here's a picture of the rocking chair I was talking about, and it's worth every effort to bring it along. This is my cooking area, what little cooking I do. So I'm real happy with the Coleman stove. I like the propane adapter. It lights instantly. The only drawback that I found so far is you go through them little cylinders fairly fast. I think it probably would be more economical to use the white gas tank that comes with the Colemans, which I have, but I've been using this, and I'm pretty happy with the way the stove works. In the first video, I showed everybody some of the different lighting options that I have for camp, and I like this Coleman, this old vintage Coleman white gas lantern. It's nice, in the evening to cook by. It's a nice bright light. What turned out to be a big surprise for me is I had picked up this hanger, this lantern hanger at a garage sale for like $1. And I wasn't real keen on it, but it turned out to be a great. I'm real happy with the way this works as far as hanging the lantern, moving it around. It turned out to be quite a surprise how much I like this lantern hanger. Options for lighting that I've been using in the evening is, like I showed everybody in that first video, is this Dietz Jr. Kerosene lamp. I've been using it some, not as much as I thought I would use it. The nice thing about this is it does have the handle on it. You can carry it around easily, where like the one that I have in the tent, that's difficult to carry around. And so I've been using it, but not as much as I thought I would. What I've been using actually more than I thought I would is this headlamp. I keep it right alongside the bed. I use it quite often. You can hands-free with it. May not be, a traditional lighting source, but it comes in handy, and I like it quite a bit, as I do this super flashlight that my grandson Michael gave me. I used this a couple of nights when I heard some rustling outside, and I went out with the light to investigate. And you can shine this light for quite a distance. So thank you, Michael, for the flashlight. I'm using it. There's methods of starting a fire. In that very first hunting camp video, I showed everybody the different methods of fire starting that I was bringing along on this adventure. I think I had a flint and steel kit, a bow drill kit, a ferro rod, some matches, a Bic lighter. I can't remember what else. But anyhow, as much fun as it is messing around with primitive methods of starting fire, and I'm telling everybody that it's a good skill to know, but more and more I find myself not using the flint and steel kit or whatever. Just middle of the night, I just want to get the fire going. The stick matches, the strike anywhere matches, the dampness has affected them greatly, even when they're in a wet-proof container. The dampness, they're a pain in the neck, to be honest with you. Occasionally I'll use them for something, but most of the time it takes me 3 or 4 matches to get one to light. The Bic lighter works every single time. I like that quite a bit, as do I like the ferro rod. The ferro rod, as long as you got some tinder, whether it's scratched up birch bark or maybe some kind of something like cotton balls that are all fluffed out with maybe a little bit of petroleum jelly on them, it works beautiful. So in the middle of the night, I got to get that fire going to warm up or whatever. That's my go-to method. The Bic lighter or the ferro rod. This time of year, the days are getting shorter and shorter, and the nights get longer and longer. So, and I'm down here so far by myself, camping and hunting out of this my tent camp here, and evenings can be kind of long. And one thing that I brought along that has turned out to be quite enjoyable is this little transistor radio. I set it up on the little table next to the stove there, and I listen to some music in the evening. Also, I found that the books that I brought, reading those passes some time, but it can be a long night. It's getting dark about 7 or 7:15 now, and even if you hang out under the dining fly, cooking or just hanging out or by the campfire, that's a long night because it's not getting light in the morning until after 7. So you got 12 hour or more of darkness. So if you try something like this and you want to do something like this on an extended basis, I'd recommend it that you at least bring a little radio and some books to pass some time in the evening, especially if you're hunting and camping alone. The last couple of camp items that I want to talk about is this here takedown buck saw that our friend Kevin over on Gobbler's Roost He makes these. It's a great little saw. I use this all the time. I mean, I use it daily for cutting wood for the stove or other chores. The other thing that I use all the time is this small single bit axe that I refurbished. I had also brought along a double bit axe, a double bit axe with a longer handle, and so far I've not used that axe at all. It's not to say that sometime in the future I may use it, but right now around camp, this little axe here, this little short-handled axe, single bit, is doing everything I need it to do. I use it mostly for just splitting little pieces of firewood. Guess that's enough talking about things around the camp and how things are going around the camp. I don't know how many of you are still with me, still watching the video. Some of you probably clicked off a long time ago. But for those of you that are still watching the video, I think that's enough talking about this stuff. And I'm going to work on some chores around the camp if you want to hang out. Got a kind of a natural sawbuck here. It's a hemlock tree that it's actually two trees or two trunks to it, and these small pieces of branches and stuff that I've been picking up around, they fit in here nice. They hold it pretty good. So far I've had all the wood I could use just laying around camp. I haven't had to go far for it. The stove takes a piece of wood about that long, and the paracord here feels like it's stretching a little bit, so I'm going to give it one more turn on there, and see if it cuts a little smoother with the blade, a little tighter. It's only supposed to get down to about, I don't know, maybe 35, 40 tonight, so it's not going to be a real cold night. So far, it's been my experience that a pile about this big will get me through a night, and the temperature's down to maybe, the 30s and the 40s. There's a little creek about, I don't know, maybe 100 yards from camp. I'm going to go down and get some water to wash up later on. I don't know how well this will show up on the camera, but I'm going down to the creek to get some water, and there's a trail wore in the side of this hill here. The deer are definitely using this area. Maybe I should sit down here in the evening. The canvas, as the weather changes, the canvas expands and then contracts, and it's starting to get a little loose here in some of the corners, so I gotta move the stakes just a little bit, tighten it up a little bit. I don't want to over tighten it, but it's starting to stretch out a little bit, so I'll add that to my chore list this afternoon. The last little chore project, whatever you want to call it, for today was to fabricate this little hook out of a branch here. I wanted a place to hang the bow right next to the dining fly, so I just whittled this out real quick out of a branch, and it gives me a place to hang my bow. I'm glad everybody stopped by my hunting camp and visited, and I was able to talk about my experience so far. I'd like to encourage anybody who has a similar dream, a similar vision of a long-term hunting camp, to go ahead and do it. Now, I've got limitations. My age is a limitation. I can't pack way back, backpacking trips and anything, especially solo anymore. So this is a camp that I've set up that's accessible with my vehicle. I'm able with my truck to drive just about up to where I have the camp set up, so weight is not an issue whatsoever. As you can tell, I've got the camp set up for comfort, and I'm sure others have different ideas of what they would do in a hunting camp, and from time to time, so far this season, I've had to break away from camp and take care of personal matters, whatever, and so I haven't been staying here exclusively since I set it up back in mid-September. But I have been spending considerable time here, and so far this has been my experience, what I'm sharing with you. And once the rut kicks in and once hunting really starts picking up, I'm planning on spending considerable more time here, and I hope you stop by and visit through the videos that I got up on YouTube. So until next time, everybody, take care. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep on trucking.